Torres, 3 straight 10 strikeout games against the Pirates, but still eyeing his first 10 strikeout game this season. We're headed back to Pittsburgh in moments. Right now, Doug at the Trop. Check out Christian Encarnacion Strand.
Well, Baltimore needs these big hits because they're right in the thick of that American League race, and they're finding their mojo right now with big hits from Encarnacion Strand.
Orioles eyeing the 4-game sweep of the Rays at the Trop. Doug and I are going to be in studio all night long, updating you on everything going on across the Bigs. Kev, 6 weeks to go in the Major League seasons, and tons of teams still right there.
Yeah, it feels, Kev, like almost everybody is right there. And you heard there the Orioles looking for the mop at the Trop. They are right now the 3rd wild card team, a game up on Detroit with seemingly half the American League in the mix. And here are the Tigers at 60 and 64. 3 days ago looked in great shape. They were swept by the Chicago White Sox over the weekend at home. They are still just a game out. And they've got the likely American League Rookie of the Year, Kevin McGonigal batting second, and then Dylan Dingler might be in the top 5 for AL MVP at this point of his all-around season, batting third behind him. No Riley Green for the Tigers, still out injured, but great young talent in this lineup, including Brett Callahan, who had a 2-run triple on the first pitch he saw in the big leagues yesterday. Tigers at 60 and 64 are going to take on Carmen Mlodzinski, back into the starting rotation with Mitch Keller out for the year, which is a spot, Eduardo, where he struggled.
Yeah, it's a spot where he struggled, but he's trying to embrace it right now. What they're asking of him is give us 3 innings, and then we'll start looking to see how you continue to do hitter by hitter to try to build him up as the season goes on.
See, the strikeout walk rate are not different. The stuff is pretty real for Mlodzinski. The 31st pick in the draft 6 years ago from South Carolina. And he'll face Gleyber Torres to begin the night. Tigers could be tied for the American League wild card, could be 2 back or somewhere in between as they hit game 125. And we begin with a 2-seamer inside from Mlodzinski.
Yes.
7-11 on this Monday night, August the 17th from Pittsburgh's PNC Park. And the designated hitter Gleyber Torres, who loves hitting against the Pirates, stands in and misses strike 1 at 97. It'll be Torres, Kevin McGonigal, and Dylan Dingler for a Detroit team which is 11th in the majors in runs scored per game and trending up over the last couple of months, even with the trades of Tarek Skubal to the Dodgers and Casey Mize to San Diego. Go back to June 1st, Eddie. This team 4th best record in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, and it's a team that has had to play with a lot of noise pretty much for the entire year. And I think once the trade deadline happened, it's like the true identity of we're going to be in this thing together for the next 2 months. Let's play our game loose.
Yeah, A.J. Hinch spoke with the team right after the trade deadline and said, look, we're still in this thing because if we weren't in this thing, there'd be more guys in this room who would have been traded. So let's just play free. Let's play easy. They certainly have performed better the last weekend notwithstanding.
Torres will take that splitter in the dirt from Mlodzinski. It's 2-2. A splitter pitch that Carmen Mlodzinski has thrown a lot more this year. It is his major strikeout pitch to lefties, and he will throw it some to righties. It's a kitchen sink arsenal for the 6'2" right-hander, 27-year-old. 7 different pitch types. And Torres gets 96 and knocks it to the screen.
Right now, advantage Gleyber Torres being able to see 6 total pitches, setting it all up for McGonigal, who's on deck.
It's a Tiger team that has won 7 consecutive road series. Only other team to do that in the majors this year, the Chicago Cubs. Inside with another splitter, and it's gone full on Torres. 29-year-old Torres in his 68th game of the year, a .379 on base percentage. Was a Tiger All-Star a year ago in his debut Detroit season. And the 8th pitch to him is up and in for ball 4. So a patient start to tonight's proceedings. An 8-pitch walk for Gleyber Torres to set up Kevin McGonigal.
Yeah, excellent at bat. Was able to see 3 splitters, a couple sinkers in that at bat. Trying to jam him inside, was not able to do so as he was able to take those 2 pitches.
Now one of the game's young stars, just 21 years old, Kevin McGonigal, who will turn 22 tomorrow. So his last day as a 21-year-old in what sure looks like it's going to be an American League Rookie of the Year season. Top 6 in the AL in hits, walks, and on base percentage.
Outside.
And having conversations with a lot of scouts about Carmen on the mound. It's basically the ability to be able to put guys away. Quick challenge early on.
And a successful one for Henry Davis. ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. Takes some guts or some smarts to challenge the 10th pitch of the game, but he got it right.
It seems we're seeing more of that as well. Teams not afraid to challenge early. Early in the year, we did not see that.
Flip the count to 0-2 on McGonigal, who knocks it out of play. Henry Davis, a former #1 overall pick, not a great challenger either, just over 50% behind the plate, 52% on the year, but got an early one right. Outside. And McGonigal takes one that'll be challenged again.
Ball being challenged by the catcher.
Henry's feeling himself right now, challenging 2 of 3 pitches. And this one's a strike as well.
That's huge. That's huge right there. Aggressive early on, being able to challenge and gets 2 strikes out of it. You talk about being an elite framer, but this right here, it's all about the ball just hitting the outside part of the plate with the slider. Put that one on Davis.
Ben May, the plate umpire, has his call overturned twice. And by an eyelash, McGonigal, the rare strikeout.
I've been hanging out with David Ross enough to know, too. You notice that Henry Davis turned and talked to Ben May. Like, there definitely is some smoothing over there going on.
Well, you got him right. And look, I get it. But that's a heck of a call by Davis.
Here's the Detroit catcher, Dylan Dingler, with a loud and shallow fly ball to right. Great young Pirate Esmeralyn Valdez makes the catch, and Dingler now just 1 out of 31 over his last 8 as Majinski gets 2 quick outs after the leadoff walk. .379 ERA overall for Majinski on the year. He's only allowed 8 home runs now in over 100 innings. Walk and strikeout numbers are not great, but pretty good at limiting loud damage. Cole Keith, Tiger cleanup man, takes ball 1. Cole Keith, typically a very hot starter, only behind the A's Carlos Cortez for first inning batting average, and Riley Green, his teammate, who's injured, right behind him. And Keith and a 1-1 count. 25-year-old playing first base today. Spencer Torkelson gets a day off at least to start. Keeps slightly above league average hitter on the year. Was pretty good against righties and basically does not play against lefties. Only 3 hits off of left-handed pitchers all year. So if the Pirates turn to one of their 2 lefty relievers, Mason Montgomery or Gregory Soto in this spot, you may see Spencer Torkelson late. You will certainly see, if the situation calls for it, Detroit pinch hit. They do it about as frequently as anybody in baseball. That ball whacked to left field by Cole Keith, down for a sharp single in front of Brian Reynolds. That first inning batting average just went up. Keith has the game's first hit.
How about that? Continuing the tone of being able to get ahead on that first at bat, and this one just stays up in the zone. A little run, and it runs right into the barrel. Colt gets that bat in plane, is able to get himself a base hit to start off this game.
So 2 on, 2 out for the Tigers right fielder today, Zach McKinstry. The 18th pitch of Majinski's first inning.
Inside.
Fastball ripped inside.
Interesting at bat here. McKinstry doesn't really hit the ball hard, but what he does is he puts the ball in play, forces the defense to make plays, now with a runner in scoring position.
And McKinstry puts this one in play to right center for a base hit. He follows up Keith's single with one of his own to bring in Torres, and the Tigers take the first lead in the opening inning of the series.
Right on point, around 89 miles per hour off the bat. That's what you need with runners in scoring position. Contact. Look at the location of this pitch. Dead red center. McKinstry does not miss. A bit choked up on that tapered bat. Puts the Tigers up.
McKinstry had been 0 for 9 in his last 4. It's his first RBI in 10 days. And it did move Keith to third as well for Hao-Yu Lee. And Lee goes through the right side for a base hit. Singles on 3 consecutive pitches, and Detroit is putting an early hurting on Majinski. The rookie Lee brings in Keith, and it's 2-0 Tigers.
And there was a number that I had circled early on, and it was that he had not been able, and we're talking about Majinski at the mound, able to finish this month. Opponents hitting 500 with an on-base percentage of 500 with 2 strikes and OPS as well. They're being aggressive. They're not afraid of the swing and miss.
Here's Brett Callahan. He gets the first pitch to hit, drills it right at the shortstop Triolo. That was the hardest hit ball of the inning. It's 2, and it could have been more. A great start for the Tigers here at Pittsburgh.
Hello there.
Oh.
The Pittsburgh Pirates, the 3rd highest scoring team in baseball, ahead of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Imagine hearing that at the beginning of the season. 5 runs a game for the Pirates, who have an interesting lineup today because they're facing a lefty, because some of their big bats are hurt. O'Neal Cruz is back off the aisle but not starting today. Ryan O'Hearn, Connor Griffin, among others who are still out. So Jared Triolo leads the way. Esmeralda Valdez, a 22-year-old, having an amazing rookie year behind him. And Brian Reynolds, a Pittsburgh fan favorite, one of the best seasons of his career. Framber Valdez is going to oppose him. Tigers want to make a push. They're going to need more from Valdez in his first Detroit year.
And he has to be the most important guy in the Detroit uniform right now. He's the one that sets the tone. He sets it with being able to go deep in games, but most importantly, strike one is going to have to be important for him. A lot of swing and miss, a lot of ground balls.
Valdez begins his 25th Tiger start with a 2-seamer to Jared Triolo. Triolo in a very small sample size, some great success against Valdez. He's 3 for 4. He's doubled twice, and he's walked against the longtime Houston Astro. Here's ahead 0-2.
Ahead 0-2 with a great purpose pitch. Fastball on the inside part. Now if Triolo starts looking there, advantage Valdez because he can spin one in the dirt or he can try to throw that 2-seamer down and away.
A ballpark where he dominated a year ago.
One side.
Last time Valdez pitched here, 7 innings, 2 runs, walked 3, struck out 11. When the Astros came to Pittsburgh last June the 5th, 10 of his 11 strikeouts were on that pitch, the curveball, 1 on the changeup. A start that both managers remembered, one fondly and one not so fondly, from a year ago. A 2-2 for Triolo, the Pirates' leadoff man tonight. And a ground ball down to third. Kevin McGonigal, even with the bag, makes the throw.
So Framber Valdez is the worst nightmare for a lot of grounds crews, especially in the infield. When you start seeing a lot of ground balls early in the game, that means he has it early, and if he has it early, it's a lot of trouble. puts a lot of pressure on the defense, but it also puts a lot of pressure on the offense because you have to think middle the other way. If you pull, that's what you're going to get.
Be an all Valdez battle here against the Pirate 22-year-old rookie Esmerlin Valdez. 14 home runs in just 56 games. That's tied for the most in the majors. Was a National League Rookie of the Month in July. Hit a skid, but a 6-game hit streak, 9 for his last 23 coming in. This kid has some serious juice in his bat. And maybe folks outside of Pittsburgh don't know it yet, but they will at this rate, slugging .565.
Yeah, I had a fun conversation with him today in the dugout, and he's like, I'm just having fun. And of course, with those numbers, wouldn't you?
Valdez pops up a 2-0 two-seamer down the line and right. Zach McKinstry has room at fair ground to make the catch. You mentioned for Framber Valdez, he gets a ground ball going early. It's a good thing. It's a 7.23 ERA in the first inning this year. What leads to these slow starts, and when he's on, why is he on?
Well, what leads to the slow start, sometimes it's he's too strong. And when he's too strong, that two-seamer flattens out. The curveball stays up. He needs to be able to induce chase with the curveball early. And then from there, you can work on the aggressiveness of the Pirates. And for the Pirates, if you want to get the ball in the air, you have to try to hit that Clemente wall. That should be your focus. Right field, right center field.
Brian Reynolds, a guy who's had a great year against left-handed pitching. We'll take a two-seamer down and in for ball one. Here's the 21-foot high Clemente wall you reference. 21 feet in honor of the great number 21.
Good to see that right there.
Restored to its rightful place.
Tried to sneak it out of there.
When we came to the ballpark today, Eduardo made a point of, hey, we're passing the Clemente statue. You got to say hello.
Absolutely.
A man whose imprints are all over this franchise, always will be. The statue to the wall to, of course, the bridge that a lot of folks walk over to get to the game. Alberto Clemente Bridge out beyond center field. One of the game's great backdrops. Reynolds punches a changeup over to McGonigal. 2 ground outs on changeups here in a 1-2-3 first inning for Valdez. A 2-0 Tiger lead in Clemente City. And baseball is presented by Liberty Mutual. Bundle and save on your car and home insurance. Many statues of Pittsburgh greats. Roberto Clemente, saw Willie Stargell earlier. Hannes Wagner outside this ballpark. Bill Mazeroski, the statue of his walk-off home run in the '60 World Series as well. 2-0 Tiger lead as we hit the second.
Inside.
Inside of the rookie Max Clark. 21-year-old who was the 3rd pick in the draft just 3 years ago.
Close.
A draft class that looks like it may go down as one of the great drafts in recent memory. Of course, the #1 pick that year. That'll be starting Wednesday. Paul Skeens, Dylan Cruz second to the Nats. Wyatt Langford was 4th. Max Clark got off to a rousing start with Detroit's cooled off a little since. He's changed his approach a little bit, dialing into a little bit more of a leg kick as the league adjusts to him. But the Tigers trade Tarek Skubal. They get an infusion of youth and energy, though, Eddie. And Max Clark, a real star in the making, people in Detroit think.
A real star in the making, and we've seen it on the base pass. We've seen it defensively with the routes and also throwing. The hitting is still not there. He had a really nice series, opening series in Sacramento. But the league adjusts quick. And it's not only if it's a leg kick, it now has to be approach. He gets to 2 strikes really quick, and a lot of relievers have been able to put him away quickly. I wonder what gives here with Carmen on the mound.
A fastball fouled away from Majinski.
You go Majinski, I go Carmen. I like it.
It's not as hard as it looks. I mean, it looks like a set of Scrabble tiles just vomited all over each other, but you know, Majinski.
How many points will we get on Scrabble right there?
At least 10.
I'll tell you what, Majinski got away with one. And that pitch, that's the pitch that Max wants back. If you see a 1-2 pitch that stays up like that on a foul ball, after having seen 3 consecutive fastballs, you get a splitter like that.
Pitch that is the best swing and miss pitch for Majinski. We go back to the two-seamer.
Oh, he should have tapped. You see the reaction of Davis. He wanted to tap. Just a delay. He framed on the inside part. Watch his right hand as soon as he frames. Waits, and then is 2 seconds after. Too late.
And 2 challenges in the first inning. That's inside near the elbow guard. It's 3-2. Remember, the Tigers' first inning started with an 8-pitch full count walk to Gleyber Torres. This will be the 7th pitch to Clark, who has 4 walks in his first 15 big league games. Actually, it will be the 8th. And it will be a 9th.
Very similar right now to that first inning where the first 2 Tigers saw 12 pitches, and then the last 5 saw 9. So you get an at-bat from Max Clark, a productive one at that.
Young man in his 16th big league game. And Clark hits a dribbler over the mound. Triolo charges from short and just gets Clark speeding down the line. On the 9th pitch of the at-bat, Triolo hoists one to beat the hustling Clark, and the Tigers will not challenge.
Oh, he lunged at it, but he did the right thing, hit the front part of the bag, and great job by Jared Triolo being able to get rid of it quickly.
The young first baseman on the other side stretching, Rafael Flores Jr. Only his 6th start there. Strike 1 to Javi Baez. A player who knows his ballpark awfully well. His 118th game against the Pirates, most of them as a Chicago Cub.
Good.
Baez quickly in an 0-2 hole.
I think maybe a defining moment of his career happened here, right? On the rundown. First base.
The rundown.
That's right.
5 years ago, Buster, one of the wackiest plays in baseball history, when Javi Baez was going to be thrown out to end an inning and backpedaled all the way to home plate. The El Mago moment of all El Mago moments.
By the way, 26 points on Scrabble.
For Majinski?
From Majinski. Now, if it would be double or triple, that would be phenomenal right there. That's Vita tried to throw me a curveball by saying 25. I got him at 26.
Just forgot that last eye. Swing and a miss. There's a breaking ball. The first strikeout from Majinski. Let's go to Kevin Connors. Reigning American League Player of the Week, Pete Alonso Kev, a wild one at the Trop, as Gleyber Torres, who's walked, has a base hit. So ground out, the 2nd strikeout for Majinski, and now a single by Torres. As we look at the AL wildcard standings, it's just been nuts. The Orioles go on the road, lose 2 of 3 at Texas, lose 2 of 3 at Minnesota, all of a sudden win 3 straight at the Trop, and they're in a very perilous driver's seat right now.
Wow. Anything can happen. A good week from one team, all of a sudden you're right back in it.
Also of note, I mean, there's a lot that's of note there. First, we'll note another challenge.
Foul ball's being challenged by the catcher.
Kevin McGonagall's about to get hit. Are you kidding me right now? One more day as a 21-year-old, and this is what you do to me, Henry Davis. You flip 3 strikes in the 5 pitches I've seen.
And it happens because McGonigal is disciplined, and he'll take a lot of pitches that are close, and that's part of the scouting report as well going into the game. Make him chase out of the zone, and maybe that'll make him open it up.
And McGonigal opens up to right field. This ball is drilled. field, and this ball is gone. Kevin McGonigal says, challenge this. A decisive swing on a cutter from Carmen Mlodzinski, and a 2-run home run slammed out toward the river doubles the Detroit lead.
You want to challenge that one? Wow. You talk about loud. This one just spins and stays straight on plane. Second time around, second time through the lineup right now. The Detroit Tigers, the first two hitters who saw a lot of pitches against Mlodzinski, have capitalized and hit it hard.
A 405-footer, the 13th home run in McGonigal's rookie year. And for Carmen Mlodzinski, we said he throws 7 pitches. That's the cutter. It's the least thrown of the 7. And maybe now you know why.
Well, you beat me to it. Center cut. After getting a pitch, look how sweet this one comes in. And McGonigal just bringing the hands in a bit, recognizes cutter, and hits it right above the 375 mark.
You mentioned his great plate discipline. What do you like about his swing?
It's consistent, and I went down today to watch him hit. First time that he's here in Pittsburgh. He wanted to see the background a little bit, but until he was not satisfied in the cage, it was about getting the foot down, putting a lot of pressure on the back foot, and then just driving through the zone. But the plate recognition is elite.
Inside. Pretty close. Yeah.
And this is a kid who was a first rounder, but
2-2.
not what you'd call a lottery pick. He was the 37th pick in the draft 3 years ago. Monsignor Bonner and Archbishop Prendergast High School in Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania. A breakout star of this season, as Dylan Dingler, who's won for his last 32, drills a fastball to the left for another Tigers hit. That's 3 straight hits for the top of the order the second time through.
He got him to chase with the curveball first pitch out of the zone, taking a lot of speed off of it at 85. After that, it was 3 consecutive fastballs at 95, crowding him in. Second time through, all 3 hitters have been able to hit it hard.
Kevin, you know, there's some players that generate a lot of stories, commentary from teammates because of their personality. And McGonigal is definitely going on the Dustin Pedroia path. Like the stories from the other players, the coaching staff about McGonigal and his energy level and his brashness. I mean, you could start collecting them in a diary at this point.
Well, his energy level on his bat, Buster, has made this a 4-0 game, a 2-out, 2-run home run for McGonigal.
You get 2 quick outs, and then it's McGonigal. Try to throw him a cutter on the top part of the zone. He'll let you know. Detroit Tigers up 4 going to the bottom half of the second inning.
Tigers would respond to a weekend sweep by the White Sox. Wonder no more. 4 runs, 6 hits, all with 2 outs. You go back to June 1st. This is the 3rd highest scoring team in baseball, and it's been the best pitching staff in baseball, which it's mostly continued to be since the trade of Tarek Skubal to the Los Angeles Dodgers. The 3 minor leaguers. Tigers since trading Skubal are 7-6, 2.95 team ERA. 4 shutouts in their first 6 games after that. Now, they were hit hard by the White Sox over the weekend, but this organization's built up so much pitching depth. They flip Casey Mize, they get Jackson Jobe, terrific young pitcher, back from Tommy John. They move Cater Montero into the rotation. Troy Melton, up until this weekend, 9 starts in a row of 2 runs or less allowed. And this guy, Framber Valdez, who was signed as one of the big free agent starting pitcher prizes in the offseason, which will be challenged by Nick Gonzalez on 2-0.
Challenging the call strike.
Just think about the plus of them being able to get Jackson Jobe. Tell you what, Mr. May struggling a little bit behind the plate.
Pirates are 4 for 4 with no outs in the bottom of the second. We've reached peak Mayday. Good to see Nick Gonzalez back in there, by the way. He was hit in the ear flap by a pitch on Friday night against the Red Sox. Missed the last 2 games, but cleared of a concussion. Back today.
This is one of the best skylines in the game.
Outside.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Maine, just looking at it, sometimes might miss a call or two because the view is spectacular.
You know, you need to ask your analytical friends what's the miss rate of umpires on high pitches at PNC Park.
Especially early on, because it just seems like it's a set. It's a beautiful set with the way that the skyline is being hit by the sun on the way down.
26 years of PNC Park, beautiful as ever. Up the middle, there's a base hit for Brandon Lau, the only lefty in the Pirate lineup tonight. Pittsburgh's first base runner, followed by Pittsburgh's first hit. So a tough start to the second for Valdez, and when he was signed, it looked like the Tigers had the makings of a dream rotation. Jack Flaherty, World Series winner 2024, back in the fold. Casey Mize, former 1-1. Tarek Skubal, back-to-back Cy Young. And, of course, Justin Verlander reunited. It's safe to say it hasn't gone as planned. Verlander still hoping to pitch this year, injured after 1 start. Skubal is in LA. Mize is in San Diego. Flaherty, who struggled, is on the IL. The one constant is Valdez, and he's been constantly inconsistent.
Yeah, he has, especially early on in the year. And these are the big moments where Valdez, even down 2-0 with runners at first and second, no outs, when he was with Houston, he would be 1 pitch away from getting out of an inning like this because of his ability to induce the ground ball. And that's what he's looking for right now.
Now the rookie for the Pirates, Rafael Flores Jr. Ground ball actually caught on a line at third, and McGonigal's throw to first is late. Now the Pirates are going to throw over to third base here.
Yeah, he's out. Yeah.
But John Tumpain is calling an out on the line drive.
Yeah, and he looked at the home plate umpire, May. May made the call that he caught it in the air. And that's communication right there between John Tumpain. But let's watch right here.
Did that get the ground or the glove?
Thought it hit the ground on the first look, huh?
No, it's in the air.
Ooh.
It's all leather right there.
The umpires are huddling up right now.
I think it was the right call.
The batter is retired at first base. The runner at first is safe. The runner at second is safe.
Oh, wow. They got it wrong.
No catch. Okay. Well, either way, it's first and second, 1 out.
And if he would have caught it in the air, it would have been the same anyway. One way or another, it ended up being the same call.
If you're Detroit, you'd probably rather have Lau and Flores on base rather than Gonzalez and Lau for the speed, but it is first and second, 1 out. As Jake Mangum, who loves to swing, misses strike 1.
And Framber using that changeup. And it's interesting because Framber can get ground balls on his 3 pitches, on the curveball, on the 2-seamer, and also on the changeup, but he has to be able to keep the ball down.
Two-seamer to Mangum, the switch hitter. Came over with Brandon Lau and Mason Montgomery in a 3-team off-season deal between Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, and Houston. A deal that certainly this season has brought back 3 useful players for the Pirates. Mangum at 300, 743 OPS. And a ground ball foul, 1-2.
So far, Framber doing a nice job with the location.
Eduardo, you were talking about a big moment. This is a big one because the way the Tigers are structured right now, they need to get production out of Valdez with their rotation. That's the weak point. That's the stress point. So for him to get to 6 innings tonight with a lead, That would be big for Detroit.
Not only would it be big for Detroit, it's just when you look at the injured list for the Detroit Tigers, a big arm that they're missing out of the bullpen is Will Vest, who had elbow surgery for a stress fracture at the end of July. That's one arm that they're missing and a bridge that they can use to Kenley Jansen.
They got Jansen, Kyle Finnegan. You get the sense A.J. Hinch has really been searching for that third lockdown righty in the bullpen. Mangum powers a breaking ball to left center field. Clark's on the run, got a good jump. Max Clark makes the catch, crashing into the fence in front of the bullpens. One of the most gifted young outfielders in baseball, Max Clark, with a fantastic running play at the wall.
Earlier, Buster and I were on the field and we were watching George Lombard Sr. work with Max Clark in the outfield, and they were working just about this in that area. Count the steps. He never had to look back. And Doug Lanvale, who is watching right now in studio, must be loving the ball, but before the game, they were counting the steps out there, and he never had to look back as he knew exactly where he was.
Gonzalez did go to third, but there are 2 outs. Well, Max Clark, of course, is playing his first game in this ballpark. 15th major league start in center career. Could have been extra bases and multiple runs. Instead, Nick York with a ground ball to third. McGonigal finds it and gets the Tigers out of the inning. Their defense behind Valdez has not been great much of the year, but that is greatness from young Max Clark.
It really is. Max Clark making the play. McGonigal following up at third. Going at the top of the third inning as the Detroit Tigers are up 4-0 thanks to this play by Clark.
Back here at Pittsburgh with Pirates manager Don Kelly. Some good injury news for you guys today. O'Neill Cruz being activated. Do we see him later tonight?
Yeah, he's available off the bench tonight, and then he'll be back in there tomorrow.
Right, and Connor Griffin. Sounds like you guys got good news with him on the 60-day IL, but he could be activated the first week of September.
Yeah, he got good news yesterday as well. He'll be heading down to Florida here on Wednesday and start his journey back to join us here in Pittsburgh.
What did he mean to you guys early when he was active?
Man, he means a lot. Just, shortstop, the way he plays, the energy, the bat, he means everything to us. He's a great kid and a great player.
Don, thanks. Back to you.
Buster, thank you. It was a close play at first, and Baczynski nabs McKinstry at the bag. The Pirates could use some good injury news. You heard there O'Neill Cruz, the slugging outfielder, not starting today against the lefty Valdez, but be in there tomorrow against Cater Montero. Probably start on Wednesday against Jackson Jobe. And then Connor Griffin. It's a shame we don't get to have Connor Griffin tonight. It's a shame that he's not healthy, and a shame that the national audience doesn't get to see Connor Griffin. I suspect you all at home are going to see a lot of Connor Griffin, though, over the next decade plus. Came up, made his debut, the Pirates home opener as a 19-year-old this year. #1 prospect in baseball, out with the torn tendon in his left ring finger. That's how Lee knocks a ground ball through the left side. The Tigers have their 7th hit against Baczynski. We go back to Kevin Connors in the studio. Now that's a note.
How many ribs does he have?
Hopefully none of them fractured. These powerful swings.
Oh, man.
Jake, just say yes to CES. Orioles leading 6-4, looking for a 4-game sweep of the Rays.
I think there's an art form to being able to drive in runs. And Encarnacion Strand slowing it down and doing it. Look at the past. It was the Miguel Cabreras that understood how to use the entire field to drive in runs. Look at Manny Ramirez. He's another one that could slow it down. Albert Pujols.
Come on, Eduardo. There's another name that you
I'm
need
working my
to
way
mention.
there, Buster. I'm working my way there. Let me get the drama going. And of course, the big dog, my dad, Tony Perez. It's an art.
I was wondering which Perez you were going to get to there.
Oh, there's only one.
Waiting with bated breath.
No.
Well, how about the art of driving runs for Brett Callahan, who on his first pitch of his big league career drove in 2 with a triple yesterday. A good splitter gets him here, though. Majinski's had some trouble locating that pitch today. He throws a fine one here for his 3rd strikeout.
Yeah, and it's a good one that started as a strike and then worked its way out of the zone and induced the chase. And it's the pitch that has frustrated him a little bit, because a lot of contact has been made on it with 2 strikes.
And here's Clark, who made that fabulous catch in the bottom of the inning. This is some of the pregame work you guys were talking about for Max Clark, who A.J. Hinch says, look, Pete Armstrong's in a different league, but that's the kind of guy he models his game after. Getting a sense for the feel here, the wall here in Pittsburgh. Working with George Lombard before the game, who's had himself quite a couple of weeks. And Clark levies his ball out into left field. And a 9-pitch ground out in the second, a 2-pitch single here. And the Tigers have multiple hits in all 3 of the innings against Majinski, 8 total in the game.
And Max Clark, who hits on top of the plate. First at bat was a ground ball to short. This one, they're trying to get in there, and he just brings his hands in nicely and just fillets it to left field.
Nine of the 17 Tigers have reached. The last 4 have swung at the first pitch, and now you've got the ultimate first pitch swinger in Javi Baez. And of course he doesn't. Javi last year had a 410-foot home run against Majinski off a sweeper on the day where he celebrated 10 years of major league service time. And he gets a breaking ball here, which is a little too far out.
And it's not that it's too far out. It was the 84 miles per hour on it. Backing it up again with another curveball. He was hunting the number 1.
I should be fair for Javi. There's no such thing as too far out. Or is there?
Thing is, if you think you're going to sneak a fastball by him inside, you're not. He's still dialed in for the number 1. It's just a matter of being able to be disciplined and lay off probably another breaking pitch.
Baez coming off a year where he had 10 walks and 109 strikeouts. 4 walks, 26 strikeouts. 38 games this year. He's back from a right ankle sprain a few weeks ago.
Outside.
Another breaking ball down and out. 13th big league year. Of course, a World Series winner with the Cubs in 2016, an MVP runner-up in 2018. 1 year to go on the 6-year, $140 million deal with Detroit, where he has had some high-profile struggles.
Come out.
He's in there at short today, partly because you want Javier Baez to play shortstop when you're going to get a lot of ground balls.
3-2.
Well, Lee and Clark will get a head start on 3-2.
Every pitch has been a curveball.
A sweeper, still a breaking ball. And Triolo throws out his counterpart. Tigers get 2 more hits, don't score for the first inning. Still lead by 4.
exclusively on ESPN. The Little League Classic returns. One day a year, baseball's best. Meet the future of the game. The MLB Little League Classic, Sunday on ESPN and the ESPN app.
At historic Pullman Field in Williamsport, it's always a great scene, the Little League Classic, no matter what major league teams are playing. This year, it's a couple of teams, Eddie, that are battling for the 1 seed, Milwaukee and Atlanta on Sunday night. So an extra special Little League Classic may be on tap.
Oh, it was really cool. And Buster, you were there when A.J. Hinch and the Detroit Tigers were there, and he's like, I'll get Skubal to start on that game. You think Mizrowski will be able to start on that game?
Wouldn't that be fun? And tell me he wouldn't be the superhero that those kids gravitate to. And Kevin, you're 100% right. Look, the big story in the National League right now is who is going to avoid the first round wild card series? Who's going to be the 3 seed that has to play it? And both the Brewers and the Braves, of course, are right in the middle of that race.
It's the first strikeout for Framber Valdez. We look at what you're talking about, Buster, the National League playoff picture. The big story of the weekend, maybe in baseball, was that Brewers-Dodgers series. Milwaukee winning 3 of 4 in L.A. They have the tiebreaker on the Dodgers. They're 3 ahead of them. They're 2.5 up on Atlanta for overall home field. And whoever's in the wild card spot in the National League is going to be dangerous. As Valdez picks this ground ball, snow cone from Jared Triolo. His first strikeout followed by another ground out.
Okay, so if you're going to be a ground ball pitcher, you might as well also be a fielder in this. He delivers, and watch how Framber Valdez ends up right there, squared to the hitter. Frustration for Triolo, who thought he was going to get it by Framber.
Fourth ground out of the 8 Pittsburgh outs. Valdez, who can be a really slow starter in games this season, has allowed only a walk and a single so far, surviving some hard second inning contact. And he jumps ahead of Esmerlin Valdez 0-2. He's a rookie who has destroyed sinkers this year, hitting .433 against him, so he gets back-to-back curveballs.
And you see why. His first at-bat, he had a 2-0 count. It's a fly ball to right field. He doesn't try to pull everything. And off the sinker, if you do, you're going to find yourself in trouble. He uses the entire ballpark for a 22-year-old. That's advanced stuff.
Strike 3 at the top of the zone. It'll be challenged.
Call strike is being challenged by the batter.
I mean, they can't go 5-5 in the first 3 innings, can they? Nope, they can't. Pirates' luck finally runs out, and the magician couldn't pull ball 2 out of the hat. First 2 Ks for the Tigers. Valdez in a 1-2-3 third. Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Scan the QR code or visit MLBshop.com, the official source for your favorite team gear. Imagine number 7's become a real bestseller at Comerica Park this year. Kevin McGonigal might not give up that number for a while. He was due up second in the 4th after a 2-run home run, and facing a new pitcher. Former Pittsburgh Panther, now Pittsburgh Pirate, Isaac Mattson, throwing for the first time officially in 8 days. We say officially because yesterday Mattson was coming out of the bullpen before the game entered a rain delay. The umpire said go back, and 2-hour 43-minute delay resumed. Pittsburgh decided not to pitch Mattson after that. So technically his first game after a week of rest, and he's 1-2 on Gleyber Torres.
And you see he's thrown the fastball already 3 times. He throws it 71% of the time. Right-handed hitters have a 57% hard hit rate against him.
Farmer Majinski's day done after 3 difficult innings. Very late call by Torres there. They're trying to make it work with Majinski. The Pirates back in the starting rotation, but this is 3 poor starts in a row. 8 1/3, 13 earned runs. Last time out in Miami said I was just not very good all across the board. Something mechanically going on, some physical stuff I need to clean up, and it did not appear to get cleaned up much tonight. Fouled away off the mask of Davis.
Okay.
What'd you make of Majinski and maybe more specifically the at-bats against him tonight?
I mean, they were aggressive. The bottom of the order was a lot more aggressive than the top of the order the first time around. And then they were trying to hunt that fastball before he got to the splitter.
So the Pirates, who went with a bullpen game yesterday as they push Paul Skeens back to Wednesday, will need 18 outs out of the bullpen tonight. The starter can only watch and hope those outs come quickly. Popped up to right by Gleyber Torres. Valdez is there for the first out. Kevin McGonigal, 77 walks on the year. He can do this too. His 13th home run of the season. A StatCast look at it in the second inning.
Yeah, those numbers almost 105. Exit velocity, the distance far enough to leave this ballpark over that 375 mark at 405.
Buster, you mentioned there are already some legendary stories growing about this 21, soon to be 22-year-old McGonigal.
Yeah, early in the year he had a couple hits, and one of the coaches said, you know, I want a third hit. He goes, which direction? The coaches were laughing at that. And look, Kevin, you were talking about his number 7. Eduardo knows this far better than I do, but the clubhouse equipment managers, they know who the guys are. There was a reason why the Kakuza brothers gave Derek Jeter number 2, why Albert Pujols got number 5, and there's a reason why Kevin McGonigal got number 7 from the Tigers.
Well, I just saw the number 77 at 77 walks to 77 strikeouts as a 21-year-old. Kid who was raised in Delaware County. A.J. Hinch said he is about as impressive a young man as he's ever been around. His work ethic, his drive. This ball hit pretty well the other way. Reynolds started in. Now retreats to make the catch. Some pretty good rookies in the long history of this Detroit franchise, but in the last 75 years, only 2 with an OPS on-base plus slugging of 800 or better, usually seen as a significant marker. Matt Noakes and Tony Clark were bronze medalists for Rookie of the Year. Sure seems like Kevin McGonigal will get the gold this season.
It seems that way right now for McGonigal. He was highly talked about during spring training when we went over there in Tiger Town, and has continued to rake, and it's because of the discipline and knowledge that he has of the strike zone. Does not chase a lot out of it and gives himself a chance every time. But when I look at that number 7, going back to it, can't ignore the fact that a Hall of Famer, Ivan Rodriguez, wore it for 4.5 seasons with the Tigers.
There are a few Hall of Famers that have been number 7 in Tiger history. Maybe not all known for their Tigers time, but Eddie Matthews wore 7 back in the day as well. 1933, Hank Greenberg wore the 7 for Detroit.
How about that?
2-1.
More often known as the number 5.
Here you go.
This number 7 is going to be around for a while. The Tigers not only have McGonigal now in his rookie year, sign him to a 9-year deal all the way through the end of 2034. Two and 1 for Dingler, who's got a single tonight. And takes ball 3.
So, Kevin, did you just pull that Hank Greenberg note? You knew that?
Buster, coming into the game, I researched every number 7 in Tigers history.
Oh, that's a tip of the cap right there.
You want to hear about them all?
Wow.
You want to hear about Manuel Margot's 2025 season for the Tigers?
4.
Inside ball 4 to Dingler.
And okay, so really interesting, and we were watching in the Tigers dugout, Max Clark look at the video, and I get it, you look at it, but you also have to look at the game, and this is where I respect when Freddie Freeman says, do this at another time. Right now, you have a pitcher on the mound that you've never seen, and you want to see what he has. What you did on your last at-bat, your base hit, so be it, or what the pitcher has on video, so be it.
Cole Keith into left, and Isaac Matson works around a 2-out walk for a scoreless 4th. Heart of the Pirates order with Brian Reynolds leading the way when we return. Welcome back to ESPN Baseball, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance. ESPN is the home of MLB.tv. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLB TV. Kevin Brown, Eduardo Perez, high atop PNC Park. Buster Olney down below, and our wonderful ESPN crew. Great to be in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where the Tigers lead 4-0. Detroit a game out of the third wild card in the American League, 5.5 behind the White Sox, who swept them in Detroit over the weekend. There's Brian Reynolds, a Pittsburgh 3-hitter. And Reynolds launches a first pitch from Valdez into left field, but got under it. Speaking of the White Sox, let's check back in with Kevin Connors.
Second baseman, Nick Gonzalez.
Outside.
And welcome to the Cubs-White Sox rivalry, Luis Castillo.
That's 5 pitches in, 2-0.
Nick Gonzalez into center field. Max Clark is there. It's 3 pitches, 2 outs for Valdez. So the Tigers still with a chance in the AL Central, though 5.5 back. Entering the season, according to Fangraphs, Tigers in nearly 4-5 chance to make the playoffs. White Sox, 1 single solitary percent. Oh, how things have changed. One of the great turnarounds in the modern era. The White Sox, a couple of years removed from the most losses in a major league season, look very strong for a postseason spot.
And they have done it via the slug. It's a team that can hit the ball out of the ballpark. They've got an on base. Murakami has been fantastic for them, setting the tone early in the year. And when he got hurt, I thought that was going to hit them really hard, and they were continuing to just put runs up on the board. Give them a lot of credit.
Right now they'd be the 2 seed in the American League. Brandon Lau swords up on that slider from Valdez.
That's the type of swing you want to swing and miss when you don't have 2 strikes. It's not about, don't try to make contact with it. You're committed, might as well get the miss.
Inside.
Inside, tried to back it up with a slider. We're going to have the White Sox a month from yesterday. White Sox Guardians. Wednesday, September 16th on ESPN. That's a 1 o'clock Wednesday game. Who knows how important that game's going to be. That's a fair ball off the glove of Keith, and Valdez is nowhere to be found.
No, he saw that ball on a line, so he froze on it, and it's one that Cole Keith should have had cleanly. It wasn't on the ground. If it's on the ground, you would think Valdez would get there in a hurry. Hesitated, and then give a lot of credit to Lau that he got out of the box quickly once he saw the ball hit the ground. That's a ball he should have. They scored that a hit?
Scored a base hit.
Wow. Little home cooking right there.
And Lau now has both of Pittsburgh's hits. Remember, it's usually Spencer Torkelson over there at first. This is only Colt Keith's 8th first base start of the year. What a scene this is, by the way. Purples and blues and all sorts of hues in the Pittsburgh skyline as Rafael Flores Jr., powerful 25-year-old, swings and misses. Cup of coffee last year, 3 for 15 in 7 games. He's got 4 homers already in 16 games this year.
86.1 miles per hour off the bat on that base hit.
In your mind, I know there are air quotes surrounding base hit. And I would say rightfully so.
Reset.
I'll tell you this, though. If I hit it and they give me a hit, man, I am one happy puppy.
It's 2 for 2 game off a lefty for Brandon Lau. The only lefty in the lineup has both of the Pirate hits. Valdez, who's been efficient, trying to work around it. And Flores pops it up. No play for Keith here.
Use that 4-seam fastball to speed him up. 0-2 count. Framber can go several ways. He can try to go outside corner with a 2-seamer. He can go change up, down, and away. Or he can go with his chase pitch and strikeout pitch, the curveball, in the dirt. Lau has to be aware of anything in the dirt.
Goes to the heater, the 4-seamer.
One upstairs.
Just his 6th strikeout on a 4-seam fastball this season.
Well, how about that? Framber Valdez touching his head saying maybe he was thinking like Eduardo. Let's go up above and get the swing and miss there.
Back here in Pittsburgh with Tigers manager A.J. Hinch, Framber Valdez, 4 scoreless innings. How important is this effort in this moment for you guys?
Yeah, he's huge for us when he gets into the game with first pitch strikes and pound on the zone. And I think the lead helps him be more aggressive around the plate. They've hit a couple balls. They've played good defense. But, Framber locks in. He's pretty hard to hit.
Tough assignment for you. Give me a rookie year grade for Kevin McGonigal.
Man, it's been incredible. I mean, it's hard to fathom that he's young and he's inexperienced at the upper levels, and he comes up here and blends in with the big leaguers and exceeds almost all of them, certainly the rookies that are around the league. And he's a center part of our team, and he's growing more in what he's learning. I just want him in every game, and I want him up to bat all the time.
AJ, thanks. Kevin, back to you.
As high praise you can give a 21-year-old. I want him in every game, and I want him up to bat all the time. Kevin McGonigal, whose 2-run homer tonight in the 2nd, gave Detroit a 4-0 lead, which it still has into the 5th. Zach McKinstry down in the hole against Isaac Mattson. And McKinstry fouls away a 1-2 heater. Tigers a game back in the wild card. Remember, they lost 3 in a row to the White Sox over the weekend. Looked like they might be ready to jump into first in the American League wild card hunt. They're now 5.5 back in the Central, 1 back in the wild card still, with a whole lot of baseball in front of them. This is game 125 of 162, so 38 to go, including tonight. If Detroit makes a pushback, it won't come close to the miraculous run they had just 2 years ago when they were full sale sellers at the deadline, totally left for dead, and miraculously jumped into a playoff spot in the last couple of days of the season.
It was unbelievable, and I remember that moment because we were at the Little League Classic and we're thinking, is this team for real? They beat the Yankees there in Williamsport, and they never looked back.
Right around this time 2 years ago, the Tigers postseason odds were 0.2% according to Fangraphs. They go 31-13 down the stretch, jump into the postseason, sweep the Astros in the wild card series. And then last year had basically the reverse. They did still make it into the playoffs despite a historic collapse at the end of the year last year, but once again made it to the division series and once again lost in game 5 2 years ago to Cleveland, this year to Seattle. A.J. Hinch said there's a lot of belief in the room that this team is still good enough without Tarek Skubal and Casey Mize to make a run to the postseason this year.
And as he told that story, Kevin, I don't know how you fellas, like, man, that is some serious motivational speaker stuff going on right there, right? Your two-time Cy Young Award winner goes out the door. Casey Mize goes out the door, and he's spinning it forward and giving something for these guys to shoot for.
There's a ground ball fair inside the bag by Zach McKinstry. And McKinstry, hustling for second, will beat the throw from Reynolds, ending a 10-pitch at-bat with an opposite field double.
And this is exactly what Zach was striving for as soon as he made contact. The batter becomes the runner and immediately gets out of that box, and he's thinking too. No hesitation whatsoever, does not have to look that way. He is focused on two, puts the head down, and gets himself into scoring position with no outs.
Be alert here for Hao-Yu Lee, who's seen 2 pitches, 2 swings, and it's 2 hits. And he'll take one high from Isaac Mattson. First leadoff hit for the Tigers. First time they get the leadoff man on since the first inning. They already have 9 hits tonight in 4+ against Majinski and Mattson. Rookie Hao-Yu Lee, .333 runner in scoring position hitter, and a 2-0 count. In a year where Kevin McGonigal has been the star rookie in the American League. Max Clark came up a few weeks ago. Brett Callahan had a moment yesterday. Little up and down year for Lee, but still about a league average hitter. Playing in his 80th game of his rookie year. So Detroit feels like there's a very good young position player core, which is certainly added to getting the outfielder, as I hear, hope from the Dodgers in the Tarek Skubal trade.
Yeah, they continue to add pieces, and what they want to do to be is good with depth, not just for one season, but for multiple seasons.
It's your youngest average age of batters this year. Dylan Dingler's only 27 too.
Dylan Dingler has 26 home runs, had 13 all of last season, and pretty much the same amount of at-bats.
And he might be the best catcher in baseball right now, Eduardo, I think.
Well, at least in the American League, I got him as that, because he not only receives well, but you're looking at the catch and throw, and it's usually around a 1.85 to second base. That's elite.
Up, and upper to Lee. That's a 4-pitch walk. He's on for the 3rd time.
Want more MLB stats? Just ask Siri. What pitcher has recorded the most strikeouts in MLB history?
A double and a walk start the 5th for Isaac Mattson, who's 30 pitches into his outing. Brett Callahan up there swinging at strike 1. A day off, a special debut for Callahan. He said he was 5 years old when he told his mom he was going to be a Major League Baseball player, and yesterday he got to live out that dream with a whole lot of family in the stands. This is a kid who was not exactly a lockdown top 100 prospect. 13th rounder at a mighty St. Joseph's University in Philly. Hadn't played above high A ball this year because of injuries. Wasn't even on the Tigers' top 30 prospect list according to MLB.com. That pitch skips away from Henry Davis. His throw to third will be in time to get McKinstry and snag the first out.
Ball hit stirred, and McKinstry did not hesitate at all at second base. They're going to take a look at this one. Great job by Davis just to keep it in front of him right there. And let's take a look as he gives a little bit of the windmill around it. I think he's out.
Now the Tigers do not challenge. Davis, a very good thrower against McKinstry. 2-5. Lead is second, and there's one out for Callahan. Ground ball toward the middle. It's Gonzalez with a bobble, and Callahan is safe at first. So the Pirates defense giveth and taketh away. It's first and third, one out on the E4.
When these errors happen, you have to take a look at the transfer from glove to hand. Is it tight to the body or is it away from the body? And every time you see it done, it's away from the body. You see his eyes looking at third base instead of focusing and funneling that towards the body and making the transfer.
That is the 11th error against Nick Gonzalez this year. And Max Clark follows it up by poking the ball to left for a base hit. The second hit of the night for Clark. He will hustle to second. Throw kicks away from third as Callahan goes first to third. And the Tigers are running riot in Pittsburgh.
How about the aggressiveness of the Tigers? First making the first out at third, but right here another base hit the other way for Max Clark. This pitch away gets able to extend it, but give a lot of credit to Callahan as he continued to just put the head down, go to third base, and Clark with his heads up going to second.
RBI single to second on the throw. Javi Baez now to a drawn-in third baseman Nick York. And the runners will hold no contact play on out number 2. So a 2-hit game for Clark, who has yet another first pitch hit for Detroit. That's 4 first pitch hits for the Tigers in the game. 7 of their 10 hits have been on the first or second pitch of an at-bat. This is usually a very patient team, too. They have the second lowest chase rate in baseball, the Tigers, but they've been challenged in the zone, and they have answered a whole lot of those challenges.
Been challenged with that fastball as well, too.
Torres goes after that fastball. 0-2. Walk, a single, a fly out, 2 runs scored for Gleyber Torres tonight. 7 of the 9 Tigers have reached base safely. Callahan reached on an error. The only one who hasn't been aboard is a 9-hitter Baez. Tom Kelly hoping he can get through one more batter, one more inning with Matson. He's got Johan Ramirez, who may need to serve as a long man tonight, up the bullpen. This will be the 40th pitch in just 2 innings for Isaac Matson. And it is outside. Just barely, if that.
Let's not forget the Pirates only have 1 challenge left. Smerlin Valdez did not get it right earlier in the game.
That is strike 3 over the outside to Gleyber Torres. A critical error on Nick Gonzalez really jump-started this rally. His 11th of the season. Looked like a routine ground ball. 1 pitch later, a little routine opposite field swing. The 21-year-old Max Clark adds to the Tiger tally. MLB Together is baseball's platform embodying the sports commitment to philanthropic causes and mental wellness efforts by teams, players, and the league. For more, visit MLBtogether.com as we hit the bottom of the 5th. 5-0 Detroit. Framber Valdez, 50 pitches, his fewest of the season through 4 innings. And you can scan that QR code or visit MLBtogether.com. 50 pitches, 4 scoreless. The 7th time this year he's been scoreless through 4 innings as he faces the bottom 3 in the Pittsburgh lineup. And falls behind Mangum 3-0.
And he was so economical, especially in the last 2 innings where he threw 9 in the 3rd and 12 in the 4th inning.
You got to be ready by 8. That's all. So
if he's awesome now, I have to be ready at 9.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks. They're going to fix it here in the next few weeks. Okay.
Oh,
Where
really?
Mangum was robbed at the center field
Reset.
wall by Max Clark in his first at bat. A couple of hard hit balls for the Pirates tonight, but only 2 hits for Brandon Lau plus a Nick Gonzalez walk. There's a 3-0 strike. Valdez in his first Detroit year after 8 seasons with Houston. He misses high. And that's a leadoff walk to start the Pirate 5th. It's a player, Framber Valdez, who lingered long into the offseason despite a .336 career ERA in Houston, despite eating a lot of innings, despite getting Cy Young votes 4 times. Had a tough start to the end of end to last season, should say, with the Astros. This ball off the end of the bat of Nick York will fall into left for a base hit. Mangum thinking about third, will hold at second as York drops in the first hit for anybody other than Brandon Lau, and the 3rd for Pittsburgh tonight.
Yeah, it's the 2nd time that he gets both hitters to lead off an inning and get them on base, and it's the Framber Valdez that we just saw in the 2nd inning. Now he'll try to do his best to induce that ground ball, but this one off the end of the bat to get a base hit.
We'll go to work against a 9-hitter, Henry Davis. Davis coughs one foul sharply down the line.
Davis has seen a steady diet of changeups and curveballs. Has yet to see anything hard from Valdez.
And Dylan Dingler is going to go out to the mound here. Javi Baez, the shortstop, will join in.
I think the conversation was initiated by Baez. Wanted to make sure that Valdez was not tipping anything that could be a possibility. We've had a past of Valdez and teams that may have had something with him. He's looking for contact right now, and he's trying to get 2 with 1 swing.
Davis just a 169 hitter with a ground ball to shortstop. Exactly what Valdez was hoping for, but the throw is skipped by the second baseman Lee, and that'll put the Pirates on the board. Oh my goodness. Both second basemen with crucial errors leading to runs here in the 5th inning as the Tigers cough one up and the Pirates get on the board at 5-1.
Yeah, and that was a tailor-made 6-4-3. No reason to rush. Ball hit hard. Baez secures it, gives a very good feed to Lee. Have to know who's running. Rushed it, and Colt Keith could not pick it off the dirt right there.
Two second basemen that have really struggled this year. Lee's a -9 outs above average, -4 defensive run save. These, frankly, are 2 poor defensive teams most of the year.
Is that updated?
What's that?
The -9?
Yes.
To that throw?
Lee now a -10 outs above average. Well, ball foul by Jared Triolo, 1-1. Real-time savant, Eduardo Perez up here.
Real time.
Man, these were 2 pretty routine plays, and these are 2 teams who are, again, trying to fight for their wild card lives. The routine plays, the little things just feel even more magnified in mid-August, don't they?
100%. Can't give away outs, and I think that's what you have right there.
Down to short, Baez, and he got 2. The throw, according to the crew chief, Chris Conroy, beat Davis to the bag. The Pirates are not so sure. They'll call for a challenge.
Oh, he's safe.
Yeah, and they were right to be not so sure. This might be the quickest challenge of the year. He's on and he doesn't leave. This will be overturned. So it'll be a line out for Triolo. Hit it hard. Now he's going to go talk to Valdez again.
Yeah. Already the outfielders went back to their position. And I love Baez being there, and he's the one that's just talking to Valdez, keeping him in the game. He's just talking sense. Don't overthink it.
I cannot believe we're still waiting on the
After
result.
review, the runner is safe. Pittsburgh retains their challenge.
We know. All right, so the Pirates keep the inning alive. That was hit really hard by Triolo as well. 103, but nothing to show for it. And it'll be Esmeralda Valdez with 2 down. Valdez seeing Valdez for a 3rd time. An unearned run across here in the inning for Pittsburgh. First pitch swinging a ground ball foul.
And Valdez is one of those guys that just gets better as the game goes along.
Which one?
Oh, that's a great question right there. But it's going to be Framber, who has more of a history on that mound. Now it's when his stuff starts moving a little bit later.
His ERA this year is 3.62 after the first inning. It is over 7 in the first inning. 1-1 to the Pirate rookie, 22-year-old power hitter Esmeralda Valdez. Breaking ball, that's grounded foul as well. Five and 2/3, 4 earned. Brommer against Cleveland Wednesday. Not a great start. Walked 5, struck out 3. It's 59 versus 55 in the all Valdez affair. '94 from number 59, and a smile from Valdez the younger.
And it's a great purpose pitch for Framber. Dingler wanted it upstairs. He gets it upstairs.
Four-seamer he basically never threw last year. He has mixed it in a little bit this season, including for a strikeout tonight. And goes away with another fastball, and a strikeout ends the inning.
Talk about purpose pitches on the 1-2 pitch. Might as well elevate with the fastball, exactly what Dingler wanted it. Now you're thinking, is it going to go downstairs? No. He goes with another four-seamer. Middle away to get the swing and miss.
Yohan Ramirez on for the Pirates with a 5-1 Detroit lead in the 6th. Ramirez back off the paternity list today. Isaac Mattson gives up 1 unearned run in a couple of innings. And Ramirez bends in that sweeper, which has insane movement, over to Kevin McGonigal for strike 1. Pittsburgh bullpen that is 19th with a 4.24 ERA. Ramirez has been one of their pleasant surprises. Just 46 hits, 67 1/3. Good strikeout numbers. That's 2 innings. Should say it is an earned run against him. 2 hits, walked 2, struck out 1. The Tigers saw 100 pitches between Majinski and Mattson in the first 2 innings. 10 hits, 3 walks, and a 5-1 lead. And McGonigal has got a 2-run homer, grounds 1 foul.
Yeah, it's up. Yeah, exactly.
McGonigal, Dingler, and Keith. 2, 3, and 4 big bats for Detroit. Ripped toward the middle. There's a base hit for Kevin McGonigal. A 2-hit night for McGonigal as we check in with the studio.
By rage if necessary.
Doug hasn't written anything, has he? Oh, wow.
Okay, reset.
That was excellent.
That was phenomenal.
They're hoping for a Dylan Dinger by rage if necessary. Tigers all-star catcher hitting a walk tonight.
Oh, two.
He's just trying not to get hit by Ramirez.
So
this off the top, but go ahead, Buster.
I was going to say, this is how good Dylan Dingler is. Last year, when he took the job from Jake Rogers, I bumped into Rogers about a day or two later, and I said, hey, you know, sorry to hear that news, because, of course, Jake Rogers had caught every pitch of Tarek Skubal's first Cy Young season.
Meanwhile, some absolute nonsense with these break balls. That was behind Dingler, and it's a wild pitch. McGonigal to second.
So I just mentioned that to Rogers, said, hey, now, this kid is great. He talked about his work ethic. He talked about his talent. He was like, this makes total sense that they would make this move. So much respect for Dylan Dingler and the way he approaches the game.
And to your point, Buster, these are the players, according to Fangraph's calculation of WAR, wins above replacement, which takes your hitting, pitching, fielding, base running into account for catcher's framing. These are the players in all of baseball that are ahead of the Tigers catcher Dylan Dingler. Pete Armstrong, Shohei Ohtani, Yordan Alvarez, Bobby Witt, Jacob Mizorowski. That's it. That's the whole list. And this is a guy in his third year that a lot of baseball fans still don't know much about. 167 as a rookie, 14 for 84. Last year, Gold Glover, pretty good hitter. And this year, as good of an all-around player as there's been just about baseball.
And I think it's really hard to measure wins above replacement because of the defensive position behind the plate. But the one thing that he does do, and we saw him today, Buster, it was with his briefcase, ready to go, study the pitchers, and then after he does that.
What time is that, Eduardo?
That was around 11:15. You missed out on it, Buster. It was awesome, too. Good club sandwiches where we were. You know, it's all about the food for me.
Down to third from Dingler, a drawn in York. Make a play and hold McGonigal on the first out.
11:15, Buster, right after your podcast. The guy, and he was already ready to go to work.
A.J. Hinch raved about him to us today. The level of preparation, the level of detail, the work that he puts in on his own before getting with the Tigers pitching coaches and advanced staff. Said it's as detailed a catcher as he has ever been around. Think about how many great catchers A.J. Hinch has been around.
I covered another player who carried around a briefcase. He was a relief pitcher, and other players wondered what this particular player's nickname was. Country was carrying around his briefcase. They open it up, can of chewing tobacco.
I'll tell you that. I'll tell you this. I remember watching Jason Varitek all the time. Come in ready for business, ready to get it done early.
It could be a Gold Glove, Silver Slugger, and MVP finalist kind of year, depending on how the second half turns out for Dylan Dingler. And he's been going through it at the plate. Came in 1 out of his last 31, but has a hit and a walk tonight. Had an RBI double yesterday. A.J. Hinch said he asked him, you wanted a day off yesterday? And Dylan said, I'll do what you do, but I want to be in there. That's upstairs, or is it?
That's too
Challenge
late.
too late.
Yeah.
Cole Keith should have pulled the trigger. Would have been 3-0.
But it's okay. It's a
2-1.
2-1 count. He has to stay in there. Still has the advantage here in this at-bat. Can't let that bother him.
That's too late, man. It's too late.
And I think what happened was he heard the strike after. He assumed that it was going to be a call to ball, and then when he realized he called it a strike, he's like, wait, what?
Okay, usually umpires give you about a 2 beat
Yeah.
to challenge that.
Thank you.
It just looked like Keith, honestly, it looked like he reacted late because he thought it was a ball.
Right.
And Mays already had 4 challenges overturned by the Pirates, who are 4 for 5. Tigers still have both remaining. 6 pitch coming to Keith, and a ground ball foul. Well, Keith, an important player against righties, a 780 OPS for Detroit, a team that still feels like it has some other levels to get to offensively. They hope they'll get Riley Green back by the end of the month. They'll have close to their full offense firing into the stretch.
All 3.
Remember, this is a Tigers team that
3-2.
11th in runs scored per game, 4th in ERA in the majors. They have the 2nd best run differential in the whole American League, and yet they're a game out of the wild card, 5.5 out in the Central. He chases ball 4, stays alive on the sweeper. If you look by expected record, Pythagorean record, the Tigers are way ahead of everybody in the wild card race, but in actuality they are 60-64. They are 1 back despite a run differential that's just behind the Yankees into the night.
How about Keith just grinding this at bat right
Very nice.
now? Continuing to foul off some tough pitches. Having started 2-0, evened it out at 2, and it's been foul after foul.
Another long Tigers at bat. We've seen an 8, a 9, and now a 10 pitch at bat tonight. That ends in a walk for Colt Keith, and there are 2 Tigers on.
MLB and T-Mobile offer you a chance to win trips to all 30 stadiums. The views, the food, the vibe. Begin your journey to 30. Enter now.
So the Tigers have now seen 121 pitches tonight in 5 1/3 innings. And Zach McKinstry, in the middle of a 2-hit night, can really try to break it open. Strike 1 from Ramirez. McKinstry had been hitless in his last 4, 1 for 13 in the last 6. A player who's taken a precipitous fall after an all-star season a year ago. Way inside, and Davis fakes a throw through on an overeager McGonigal.
Ramirez hit the deck. Thought Davis was going to throw to second.
McKinstry, a player who's really struggled to hit fastballs this year.
2-1.
It's the guy who throws a whole lot of breaking pitches in Ramirez.
I'm good.
Back to the fastball at 97. There's Wednesday's starter. Paul Skeens looking on. Pushed back 3 days on what was supposed to be a start yesterday. The big story around these parts: what is wrong with the Cy Young winner a year ago, Paul Skeens. In the dirt, it's 3-2.
Yeah, Kevin, the numbers are the numbers for Paul Skeens. His velo down a couple miles per hour. Damage by opposing hitters is up. The hard hit rate has jumped from 24% from 2 years ago to 34%. His ratio of ground balls has come down dramatically. So the Pirates decide, you know what? Even though Skeens was ready to start on Sunday, let's give him a few days, give him a little extra rest, try to put him in a better position going into his next start.
So it's going to be the finale here on Wednesday. Pulled to right by McKinstry. That ball will get out of play.
3, please, Mace.
And we did see Paul, who again was supposed to start yesterday, get in a bullpen earlier today. I think half the Pirates organization was out there in the bullpen to watch him.
It did seem that way, and they're saying it's more mechanical than anything, and it's something that, let's see how he gets through this year so he can fix it in the offseason.
Speaking of mechanical, Ramirez with a 48-footer. A wild walk to load the bases with one out.
Yeah, if you need to fix it, or yeah.
We just haven't seen a start like Paul Skeens, maybe in the modern era. 196, 197 back-to-back years. This season a 388. Is there some bad luck in there? Sure, but there's also some severely diminished stuff. 96.8, most people would like to throw that, but it's way down, and it's going further down the last few starts.
My concern is more location than anything. His dominance in 24 and 25 was because he was able to locate also with all the nasty stuff, the splitter, the sinker. He would get more swings and misses in soft contact. He's not getting the amount of swings and misses with those pitches like he was accustomed to. But he's missing a lot of stuff arm side, so let's see. Now, Ramirez on the mound, 28 pitches so far this inning. And he's had Henry Davis all over the place, trying to block some throws and catch some pitches that are pretty much uncatchable.
28 pitches and 16 breaking balls. Less than 40% of his pitches in the strike zone right now, as he'll face Lee. And another one's out of the zone for ball one. McGonigal, Keith, and McKinstry. Some cornerbacks with Colt Keith in between, and Lee 2 singles and a walk tonight. Remember, the Pirates only got 3 innings out of Majinski. They get 3 innings out of Lakebacker yesterday in a bullpen game. So it's as if they used the bullpen for 9 innings yesterday. They did send Hunter Barco down after 3 innings, but it's just back-to-back bullpen games here. Nobody is warming as Ramirez gets a strike on his 31st pitch of the inning.
I'll tell you this. Lee was trying to hit that to the Roberto Clemente bridge. Not holding back on that 2-0 pitch.
3-1 now to Lee. I just don't know who's going to pitch behind him for Pittsburgh. Luke Weaver and Gregory Soto are leverage guys that'll be 3 out of 4. Mason Montgomery's more of a closer. Camilo Duvall and Kirby Yates threw yesterday. They're 1-inning setup guys. He just has to get outs. There really aren't any other options right now for Pittsburgh.
Well, I think all he has to do is try to throw strikes more than anything. Right now, out of 33 pitches he's thrown, 18 have been for strikes. But a lot of foul balls, a lot of pitches, and when they're off the plate, they're not even chasing.
A 3-2 with the bases loaded to Lee. That's ball 4. The 3rd consecutive Tigers walk. Lee is on for the 4th time. It's 6-1 Tigers, and we'll walk back over to Kevin Connors.
Let's do the Brett Callahan.
A ball.
What did E.J. Hinch say to us? The White Sox win because they slug. And Randall Grichuk has been insane for the White Sox this year.
And the nemesis for the pitching of the Cubs is try to keep the ball in the ballpark. They've had trouble being able to do that.
So 3-2.
Timeout.
Southsiders in the fourth. 1-1. The Pirates are going to get the bullpen up here with Ramirez 36 pitches into an inning that's going nowhere and going nowhere slow. Here are the central standings. The Tigers and White Sox separated by 5.5 after Chicago swept Detroit in Detroit over the weekend. A.J. Hinch said we were 2 or 3 swings away from winning that series. Instead, they get swept. They dropped a 7-5 heartbreaker yesterday. Could be 4.5 back after tonight. Could be 6.5 back. The good news for the Tigers is the Orioles have lost at Tampa Bay. So Detroit has a chance to get back to a tie for the top wild card spot tonight. That ball bulleted into center field by Callahan. It's a base hit in front of Jake Mangum. It'll score 1, and here comes 2 as McKinstry follows in. Keith, a 2-run knock for Brett Callahan. He is the 8th different Tiger with a hit tonight, and he has completely exploded this game in the 6th.
Yeah, and you have to love the fact, the way that the Detroit Tigers have run the bases. Watch McKinstry at second base. He didn't hesitate, took a secondary, and he believed in his instincts. He took a step back. He sort of took a peek back and realized Mangum was not going to be able to catch it. Scores easily to continue to just turn this lineup over.
The Tigers are the worst base stealing team in the majors, but they are the best team at taking extra bases. That's Billy Boyer, who became the third base coach just a month ago. Joey Cora left his post as third base coach. And the Tigers, though they only have 36 steals on the year, for the last couple of years have been so good at that, going first to third, taking an extra base on the read, and this was a great one by McKinstry, as you mentioned, Eddie.
Yeah, really good read, secondary, and this is something that did not start after Joey Cora left. This had continued, and it had been already a philosophy of the way that the Detroit Tigers have run the bases this year. They know they don't have speed, but you can control the secondaries, you can control the reads, and that starts with A.J. Hinch and their coaching staff.
Javi Baez, the 8th batter of the inning, takes strike 1. It was a big part of their charge into the playoffs a couple of years ago, and a big part of their breakout start last year with A.J. Hinch, with Joey Cora, with their coaches, with their philosophy. You don't have to be fast, but you can still be a good base runner, and that's what the Tigers have proven over the last few years. Meanwhile, Ramirez is about to throw a 43rd pitch of the inning, and it is grounded foul. It has been like watching molasses drip here in the 6th. 3 walks, 2 hits, 3 runs, several balls in the dirt, 8 batters. Baez over to third base, should do it, and will do it. 44 pitch 6th inning. Slow and steady, winning the race for Detroit.
Laughing face with tears.
Probably a thumbs up. That would be my go-to emoji.
The strong, you know, I have to send that to family and friends, probably on the daily.
If I wasn't a big leaguer, I would be a veterinarian somewhere, taking care of some animals.
Probably be working in finance or something.
Some of the former Little Leaguers on the Little League Classic between the Braves and Brewers. Great matchup on Sunday night. 2 teams that are vying to have the #1 seed in the National League, maybe the best record in baseball. Milwaukee has it right now. with Atlanta hoping to be in hot pursuit. What do we got here? Turning 10 and making my debut on ESPN.
There we go.
Yes. Manifested into existence, young man.
But does he have an inning in him?
We'll find out if the answer is yes very soon, I think, Buster. It might be fan to the bullpen night after 44-pitch marathon 6 for Yohan Ramirez. A long break with Robert Valdez, who's ahead of Brian Reynolds 0-2. He's been good tonight. 5 innings, an unearned run, 3 hits, a couple of walks, 4 strikeouts. Some games that were taxing on the Tigers bullpen over the weekend. Valdez in a very good position to get through 6. And he strikes out Reynolds over the top of a changeup. Reynolds now 0 for 11. 5 strikeouts against Valdez in his career.
And Framber did not mess around with that changeup. He left it center cut. Just takes enough off, and Brian was not able to stay back and recognize the pitch. Good arm action.
Nick Gonzalez pops one to the right. Retreating McKinstry will have to play it off the high wall. Actually, it'll be played by Clark. Kicked away from McKinstry. It's a double the other way for Nick Gonzalez.
That's what that 21-foot wall does to you, right? That's the approach that you want. You look at Framber Valdez, he's like, wow, that's a fly ball in Detroit. Not here. Get it up in the air, allows the ball to travel. Gonzalez does, and McKinstry just runs out of room.
It's the exact sort of thing you were talking about at the start. How do you beat Valdez with a lineup with 8 right-handed hitters? Use the field to your advantage. Go the other way. We haven't seen the Pirates do that a ton tonight.
And credit to Framber, because he started a lot of hitters with the breaking pitch, the curveball, getting them off balance. But you have to have a game plan against a guy that understands how to pitch and will use any pitch at any time.
Only the 4th Pittsburgh hit. Brandon Lau's got 2 of them. One of them, though, was a soft line drive. Was dropped by Colt Keith at first. Lau just a .590 OPS against lefties. He's crushing righties. Been a great acquisition from Tampa Bay. Obviously, the Rays have continued to roll even after trading Lau. But Pittsburgh's the 3rd highest scoring team in baseball. And Lau is their leader. 26 home runs, 79 RBIs. Best of any Pirate. There's a chopper over the mound. Baez on the second base side. A short makes the play. Pirates 3rd in runs after finishing dead last a year ago. This hasn't happened much. Ned Hanlon's 1894 Orioles, led by John McGraw, who somehow had 92 RBIs with only 1 home run. And then John McGraw, who managed the 0-3 New York Giants and played a little. And then, of course, who could forget about manager Pants Rowland and the 1915 White Sox?
Love the names. Where'd they go?
Yeah. I know you're a big Pants Rowland guy back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of pants, at least those are still on for the Tarps Off crew.
Is that a P? For Pirates, huh?
Yeah, you're right. That is a Tarps Off letter.
There we go.
I fear that the Tarps Off virus has become sentient. Tarps Off is starting to evolve. It's kind of like the beginning of 28 Days Later, where the virus breaks free of the lab. This is just not going to end, is it? I mean,
others
this
are joining. You
see
just, those guys running up there to join?
We're going to see this in October if there are ballparks that have open enough spaces in October. One guy's shaking hands with everybody at the front of the Tarps Off movement. Upstairs to Flores, 2-2.
It would be impressive if they could move that P to the next section. Just roll that P over.
Look at this one kid's got tiger sleeves that is shirtless. All fan bases are welcome at Tarps Off. 3-2. Tell me that you guys growing up wouldn't have been part of the Tarps Off movement.
I'm just still trying to figure out what sentient means.
Buster, would a young Buster only have been up there?
If I could have broken it from the farm, I would have had the ultimate farmer's tan.
Yes.
I can tell you that.
Tigers kid's very locked in here on Valdez. He was trying to get through 6, but he walks Flores and said, let's go to Kevin Connors, who hopefully still has his shirt on in the studio.
Just think about St. Louis. Yesterday played the Cubs. Today it's a day-night doubleheader. Go against Cincinnati again tomorrow. They've got a lot of games, a lot of innings that they have to cover, but they're young.
There's a spark there, Eduardo. You and I talked about it earlier today. Like, there's a little something going on with the Cardinals right now.
Oh, there really is.
We saw the Joshua Baez debut of all debuts on Saturday. 3 home runs, first player in Major League history to do that in a debut. And there they are, guys. They're lingering. They're only 3 back in a season that was really supposed to be a kind of a transition year, a nothing season for St. Louis. Pirates 6.5 back. Well, they're having a great time while 6.5 back, at least in one section. Well, it's 8-1, but Jake Mangum can make this interesting here. As Mangum takes just inside from Valdez. 81 pitches deep. Detroit will start its bullpen even with a 7-run lead. Remember, Mangum was robbed at the wall near the bullpens by Max Clark. He also walked. It's a player the Pirates going to have to keep finding playing time for, even with O'Neal Cruz back, getting an even 300 coming into the game.
Yeah, really good at-bats so far for Jake as well.
There's Ty Madden up in the Detroit bullpen. 2-0 from Valdez. Gonzalez and Flores aboard. And a strike right around the corner. Two-one. Down and in, ball 3.
And he's picked up the off-speed pitch really well. Now you got 3-1. Jake usually stays within himself. Framber trying to be too perfect with a guy that hit the curveball really well to center field before Max Clark made a nice play.
2 seamers in there for strike 2. A guy with 351 a year ago with runners in scoring position. Kevin Cash, his manager last year, said he's 100 miles per hour at everything he does. Hit 357 at Mississippi State, the most hits in the history of the SEC in college. Has proven to be one of the tougher at-bats in baseball this year. 3-2. That's ball 4. Back-to-back walks from Valdez. He has loaded the bases with Nick York coming up. And A.J. Hinch has a decision to make. And that decision will be indecision as Kyle Finnegan now starts to throw next to Ty Madden.
Yeah, I think right now it's A.J. Hinch is going to trust his big arm right now on the mound.
Remember, if you go to a right-hander Pittsburgh does have O'Neal Cruz, along with a couple of others, off the bench for a pinch hit spot. Spencer Horwitz, too. So Valdez stays in to face York, who's grounded out and single, and it's 1-1.
And this is where the managing comes into play and the trust on Valdez. You can build on it if he gets out of it.
York back up from AAA yesterday. First time in the big leagues in 3 months. Takes ball 2.
That was a long top half of an inning as we saw the 40-plus pitches thrown by Ramirez. And Framber had to sit through it. Came out sharp, striking out Reynolds on 3, but since then has labored through.
Former first rounder, 17th overall pick 6 years ago. Nick York takes high. He's in a 3-1 count. Player who really always hit the minor leagues, only .220 career in the big leagues. He may not have to hit here the way that Valdez is spraying it. This will be the 69th total pitch of the 6th inning, which has somehow only featured 3 runs all by Detroit so far. And the 3-1 is buried toward the left field corner by Nick York. That hit's going to knock the Pirates right back into the game. It will unload the bases on a 3-run double.
Second hit of the game for Nick York, and this one's a big one. A big one for him to be able to clear the bases. And Framber Valdez not happy on the mound, but falling behind 3-1. It's York that beats him to the punch. Fastball inside part of the plate, clears the hips, and is able to keep it fair. 3 months in the minors, comes back, an impact swing for York.
Valdez's vacillating season continues. He exits, Finnegan enters. Robert Valdez displeased. 25 pitches in the 6th inning. Walked 2, gives up 2 doubles, 3 runs. Can't finish off what looked like one of his best starts of the year heading into the inning. And Kyle Finnegan, Tiger setup man, has to come on to get the final out of the 6th. Finnegan, a player whose strikeout walk rate's not in line with the ERAs he usually posts. Called on in a big spot as he jumps ahead of Henry Davis with that good splitter 0-2. Now he is steaming in that Detroit dugout.
No, he knows he has to go deep to be able to save that bullpen, and that's his job as their #1 right now.
The guy who certainly is getting paid like a #1 this year, Valdez, but he just hasn't pitched like it. A season where the strikeout rate's down, his whiff rate's down, the ERA's in the mid-4s now. Finnegan's 0-2 for Davis. And the crushing blows, a 3-run double by Nick York, who is out at second off of the 3rd hardest hit ball of his career, 111 down the line. Remember, anything 95 miles per hour or up is a hard hit ball. That's 111. Davis with a good battle here, fouls away on 1-2. Sixth pitch from Finnegan. Line toward the middle, a base hit for Henry Davis. The Pirates 9-hitter at a cool 167 fights his way back from an 0-2 cavern and brings Pittsburgh within 3.
Yeah, and that pitch, outside corner. Davis covering, protecting away, adjusting in, and is able to hit a bullet right back up the middle. York scores easily from second base.
Did you guys see the way that ball knuckled through the middle? That would have made like a Dave Winfield proud. Woo!
And again, it's a guy hitting 167, but it's a 1-1 Henry Davis. He hadn't had the offensive numbers to prove it, but here's the swing. Look at that flat knuckle off the bat. A Pittsburgh team that is scratching and clawing to try to get back into the postseason picture. Will pinch hit Jacob Gonzalez for Jared Triolo. So Don Kelly's going to save his big bopper off the bench. He's not going to use O'Neal Cruz here. He's also not going to use Spencer Horwitz yet, knowing that Detroit's leverage relievers are mostly righties. Finnegan here, Kenley Jansen is certainly going to pitch at some point in this game, we imagine. O'Neal Cruz certainly doesn't look ready to hit.
I think this has to do more with a position than anything. How many players do you want to burn in one spot?
Side. 2-1.
In the past, you'd pitch hit O'Neal Cruz to play shortstop, but that's not happening anymore.
No.
This is about to be the 79th pitch of this 6th inning.
Inside. 3-1.
Remember a couple of days ago, the Pirates had Braxton Ashcraft throw 85 pitches in a complete game. We're nearing a full Ashcraft in an inning.
I mean, sub 100 is a Maddox, right?
Yeah. He gave up 1 run, but I still feel like that should be a Maddox with an asterisk. Big swing by Jacob Gonzalez. It's 3-2. First 5 innings of Pirates dormant. With the power of the tarps off kids in the upper deck. They've risen to life here in the 6th. 3 hits, a couple of doubles, 2 walks, 4 runs. Davis will run in a 3-2. And it's popped out of play.
They're obligated to stay in place, right?
Some of them look like they're tiring a little bit.
Bottom part of that P is starting to get a little thicker.
We might need the St. Joe's Hawk from across the state to give these kids some arm flapping lessons.
Finnegan trying to get that swing and miss. Pirates continue to just fight off those 2-pitch strikes.
Guy's only in the 15th percentile in strikeout rate in baseball. And he is just not able to find the final blow here. It's the lowest strikeout rate of Kyle Finnegan's 7-year big league career this season. Ninth pitch coming. How many times have we said that tonight?
How many times have we said it in this inning?
This is playable. And yes, Virginia, there is a 7th inning. Coming after 3 for Detroit, followed by 4 for Pittsburgh.
Where do we begin? 3-1 pitch. We get 3 in, and Framber Valdez not happy as they continue to just play this game. We got 3 left. Stay tuned.
32 bites, 1 champion. Vote for the signature dish you would most like to try. Complete the Ballpark Bites bracket for a chance to win tickets to try these decadent bites at a stadium of your choice. Vote at MLB.com/bracket. I will take any of the 32 bites right now after an 84-pitch 6th inning between Johan Ramirez's 44, Framber Valdez 25, Kyle Finnegan 15. Kirby Yates is on to try to restore order. 84 pitches, 7 runs, 16 batters in the 6th inning combined. Remember, the Pirates a few days ago saw Braxton Ashcraft throw an 85-pitch complete game. There's a quick out for Yates against Gleyber Torres, and we go back to Kevin Connors.
Third baseman, Kevin McGonigal.
Wow. First career walk-off hit for a guy who's already had a sterling start to his career. Split doubleheader between the Reds and the Cardinals. Oh, we got some McGonigal here. Tigers fans have made their way with the favored eyewear of the greater Detroit area, the McGonigal for Kevin McGonigal.
You know that was a big hit for Ellie De La Cruz there.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is yesterday he made 2 errors on balls that were questionable, and people were questioning his hustle and his focus. And to be able to get that big hit.
Ball driven the other way by McGonigal. Jake Mangum will clean it up. No matter how hard you look through the McGonigals, no hit there. Kevin is 2 for 5.
It's a new way of using those red Solo cups.
Age appropriate way. Oh,
whoa.
Frightening, honestly.
I'll be.
Like the head snap of The Exorcist right there. Dad's decided
That's pretty cool though.
Take him off for now. It is.
That does cheer me up though.
It's great. There's a young Tigers fan named Cece who started this trend in June. And during the game, when the broadcast was showing her, Kevin hit a ball 420 feet for a home run. So she had to put the McGonigals back on. Then he hit a walk-off 2-run single, shouted her out in the post-game interview, said keep wearing those goggles. So the craze has spread. An 8-pitch hit. Really? That's it? Only 8 pitches? Who are these guys?
You're fighting my fights for me.
Over the Roberto Clemente Bridge, we head back to Pittsburgh. The Tigers a game out of the 3rd American League wild card heading into today. Now half out, they lead 8-5. Don't forget the Little League Baseball World Series begins Wednesday on ESPN. Nicaragua and the Dominican Republic at 1 Eastern. Alabama versus Washington, Canada, South Korea, and New Jersey and Massachusetts to follow. All those games streaming on the ESPN app. Down to short. Javi Baez kicks a ground ball from Esmeralda Valdez. And the nonsense continues for a Tiger team that led 8-1 going into the 6th. That'll be their 2nd error, but it's their 3rd infield misplay tonight.
Yeah, and it's rare, and this is all about the footwork. See this, the bounce. He gets caught in between and just actually just stabs at it wrongly. Just thought it was going to come up. It did not. Goes down, and that one is one that Javi will say that was 100% on him.
His 6th error of the year. Pirates getting the leadoff man on for the 3rd time tonight. And a strike to Brian Reynolds, who is 0 for 3. Trying to finally put his fingerprints on this comeback attempt.
Outside.
Just off the plate, it's 1-1 as Finnegan, who threw the final 15 pitches of the 6th, returns for the 7th. Two and 1 to Reynolds, who has become an extremely patient hitter this year, and a Tiger team that is no stranger to collapse. They do have the 8th best bullpen ERA in baseball, but they have been one of the worst teams holding leads. They've dropped a ton of close games. They've blown save after save. Part of the reason why they're 60-64, despite the 2nd best run differential in the American League.
Reynolds hunting for the fastball right there. Finnegan goes with the slider and gets the swing and miss.
You think a slider again here?
Got to go a little lower though, or you got to go fastball up.
He did go fastball up. Good call. It's still 2-2.
It's one of those that you have to change the eye level of the hitter, no matter how great he is. But if Finnegan were to get the ball on the ground, he has to be able to take some off and keep the ball down. Just don't throw it down and in. Ooh.
Down and in for strike 3.
Disappeared just a little bit lower. And Reynolds swinging over it. 2 swings and misses in this one. Good depth on the spin. Reynolds swinging right over it.
Finnegan's finishing touch, the first out of the inning. A 6th strikeout for Detroit pitching. And now Nick Gonzalez. He's had some quick at-bats today. Since a 2nd inning walk, a 2-pitch line out, a first pitch double that started the rally in the 6th. 3rd in the National League this year in hits. 4th in batting average. 138 hits, a 308 average. 27-year-old has had a breakout year for Pittsburgh. And takes ball 2. In search of his 49th multi-hit game, the most in the majors, and the most for a Pirate since 2014, when Josh Harrison and Andrew McCutchen each had 49. Again, these Pirates,
You got it? All right.
they may not look like it right now with a couple of key players out, but they're a really good offensive team. 3rd in the majors in runs per game. They're down Ryan O'Hearn. They're down Connor Griffin. They just got O'Neal Cruz back. But they've had some unsung contributors like Nick Gonzalez lead the way to a huge team-wide offensive jump.
And reset.
Yeah, and in the offseason, you mentioned it, by getting Lau, by getting O'Hearn, they addressed the need that they desperately needed, and it was left-handed hitting. Left-handed power hitting, especially with the Clemente wall and right.
3-1 now to Gonzalez. Don't know if they'll get O'Hearn back. A left quad strain, maybe the end of the year. Connor Griffin, torn tendon on his left ring finger. They're hoping he'll be back early in September. O'Neal Cruz back today from some hand fractures. Will we see him late? 3-1 pitch is low. Pirates are going to bring the tying run to the plate right after we return from Kevin Connors in the studio. All right, Kev, thank you. Tigers going to go to the bullpen. Drew Summers when we return. Brandon Lau takes ball one. Drew Summers, the second Tiger reliever in the game, a left-hander who's got some pretty wild numbers, a 35% strikeout rate, a huge amount of extension, and a good left arm. But he is summoned with a tying run at the plate. A game that, with 2 outs in the 6th inning, Detroit led by 7. And now with 1 out in the 7th, Pittsburgh can tie it with their home run leader, Lau. Strike one from Summers.
Yeah, you see he throws that 95-mile-per-hour sinker.
2-1.
So far in his last 5 outings, 80% of the contact has been on the ground.
Wow, a couple of hits off a lefty today. Swings and blasts one foul, 2-2.
Yeah, Kev, A.J. Hinch was telling us before the Tigers have had some tough losses this year, including one I think you were in attendance in Baltimore.
Just a couple of weeks ago, Buster, it was a 7-0 Detroit lead in the 7th. And the Orioles tied it, then won it in extras. So they've blown a 7-run lead just a couple of weeks ago. From this very inning on, as Lau stays alive, 2-2. Pirates, by the way, in the last 25 years, only one time have they come back from 7 down to win. It was September 23rd at Cincinnati. Game they trailed 8-0 after 3-1, 13-12. Lau takes just off the plate. Great take by Lau. It's 3-2.
Safe to say they have not witnessed that in this ballpark, in the history of this ballpark.
(3-2). A little ground ball to second base. Lee gets the out at first. And you mentioned Summers getting a ton of ground ball contact. He gets the critical ground out there. Runners do move up. Valdez to third, Gonzalez to second, and here comes Rafael Flores Jr.
3-2 pitch. See that run in. Trying to keep it away from the barrel of Lau, and he does exactly that.
Summers, a pitcher who's gained a little more trust as the year's gone on for A.J. Hinch. Swing and a miss. A nasty slider to Flores.
Feed off the aggression. You're looking for the number 1. Selling out on it. Now you're ahead 0-1 of your Summers.
Rookie Flores had a 2-homer game to close the series in Miami on Thursday. Lionel Hearn out. Mentioned that left quad strain. Flores getting a little bit of run at first here down the stretch. And he's late on 96 for strike 2.
And he smells the bat right after, too.
1-2.
Just that burn scent from leather to bat.
Come out.
Remember, this was an inning. It started on an E6. The not so sweet smell of strike 2 for Rafael Flores. Tying run with 2 outs and 2 strikes. Takes ball 2.
2-2. Yeah, that's not right now.
The 2-2. He struck him out. Great slider for Summers to stamp out a Pirate threat in the 7th. Pittsburgh leaves a pair in scoring position. Drew Summers with the last 2 outs to keep it 8-5 Detroit.
I'm better than that. When I'm looking at you, I'm better every way.
ESPN Baseball is presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Knock savings out of the park with Liberty Mutual. A clean 5.5 innings for the Tigers has turned into a tense finish here. Pittsburgh with a 4-run sixth within 8-5. As Gregory Soto, the 5th Pittsburgh pitcher of the game, enters, he'll face pinch hitter Spencer Torkelson here with an 8-5 Detroit lead in the 8th. Pitcher that Tigers fans are awfully familiar with. Gregory Soto, a 2-time All-Star, represented the Tigers as their closer in 2021 and 2022. He's bounced around since. Phillies, Orioles, Mets, and now Pittsburgh, with whom he's had a pretty good year. 14 saves and a 3.66 ERA. And he strikes out Spencer Torkelson on 3 pitches.
Loves to establish in early. Gregory Soto does with the fastball, and then after that, once he lands it, gets you to chase when he's ahead, and it's exactly what happened to Torkelson.
Soto's 9th career appearance against his old team. He's pitched well, 7 2/3, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts, no walks against the Tigers. Zach McKinstry goes left on left. Guy who was way below league average off lefties with a nice short swing and a 3-hit night with a walk for McKinstry.
Using the entire field. He gets on, and it's early and often for McKinstry. Speaking of early and often, how about Hao-Yu Lee? Perfect day so far, 2 for 2 with 2 walks.
Onside.
His first 2 at-bats of the game, 2 first-pitch singles, and a 4-pitch walk, scored a run, then a 6-pitch walk to drive in a run. Kirby Yates a scoreless 7th with a strikeout, 8 pitches. Now Soto. Oh no, Gonzalez broke the wrong way, and Lee will reach base again. More terror on the grass and dirt for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's interesting right there. Gonzalez thought this ball was going to be Soto's, and he wanted to cover second, but it was over Soto. No chance. Going to second base. Gotta love that base hit.
So give it a 3rd hit, a 5-time on base day for Lee. That is ruled a soft ground ball single.
Why do you have to put soft in there?
Well, because he hit it softly. Line drive in the box score, will that make you happy? That appease your senses?
Back in the day, it was like, what a line drive. Now the exit velocities just crush you.
Yeah. You know what? He's 3 for 3. I think he'll be fine. Ben Malgiri pitch hitting for Brett Callahan, who had a 2-run single last time. Second pinch hitter of the inning, Malgiri knocks one out of play. Playing well of late, getting more playing time with Riley Green on the IL. The Tigers again hope that Riley Green will not be out for long. Their all-star outfielder's got a right hamstring strain, and they hope he'll be back by the end of the month. 2 strikes on the rookie Malgiri, and down he goes. Another 3-pitch K for Soto.
Both pinch hitters, both 3-pitch strikeouts. One of the toughest jobs to do in the game is to come off the bench and all of a sudden have to see velocity and spin, especially from an elite left arm like Soto.
Tigers have left 10 on base tonight. Their season high is 12. And there are 2 more out there for Clark, who's got a couple of hits tonight, including an RBI single in the 5th. Saw 9 pitches his first time, grounded out. Only saw 5 pitches in the next 3, which included 2 quick hits. And the dirt blocked by Davis. It's 1-1.
Like to see Clark in a situation right now against Soto. Left on left, we've seen the base hits, the 2 base hits Clark has gotten, and have been to the opposite field. See if he continues to have the same game plan.
Soto's away again for ball 2. Is it the game plan you would have against Gregory Soto?
Well, it's a game plan I would recommend left on left against Gregory Soto. Allow it to just get a little deep.
Way inside. That really got deep into the waistline. It's ball 3 to Clark. Javier Baez, who's the only Tiger starter not to reach base, is on deck. Swing and a miss. 97 to challenge pitch from Soto. Signed by the Tigers all the way back in 2012 out of the Dominican Republic. With the organization for a decade before going to the Phillies. A 1-year deal to stabilize the Pittsburgh bullpen that
You got it.
needed the help. Has only been okay this year. Soto's been one of their best arms. His 3-2 with 2 on and 2 out is upstairs, ball 4. It'll be challenged by Davis.
Calls the ball. It's challenging.
Remember, Davis had won a couple in the first inning. Can he end the inning on a challenge? Yes. Davis steals another strikeout. Soto wriggles free, and the Pirates will bat down 3. A wild night between wild card hopefuls in Pittsburgh. Tigers already led 2-0 when Kevin McGonigal took aim at right center in the second. It was 4-0. Soon it was 8-1. The rookie Brett Callahan with a 2-run single in his second career game. It was a lapper until it wasn't. Nick York's bases clearing double off Framber Valdez in the 6th, followed by Henry Davis's RBI single on Kyle Finnegan. 8-5 as we hit the bottom of the 8th. Entering today, teams who trailed by 7 or more this year are just 4 and 335. The Tigers have already blown a 7-run lead a couple of weeks ago to Baltimore. They're trying not to do that against Pittsburgh. Drew Summers stays in and is 1-1 on the 7-hitter Jake Mangum.
Yeah, Kevin, I bet you after the game that Framber Valdez is going to be asked about just before the pitch that he threw to York for that big hit. His chain came off. He had to adjust it. Boom.
Ball.
It's all in the chain, is what you're saying. The magic powers, like the magic amulet. The chain snapped, and so did Valdez's outing. Ends up giving up 5 runs, 4 earned, and 5 2/3. Mangum with a bouncing ball beaten to the new first baseman Torkelson, whips it to Summers, and the call is safe at first. John Tumpay, the first base umpire, with a safe call. Tigers will take a look. An infield single by Mangum, but it will be challenged.
How about the hustle of Mangum? Even if it gets overturned, just the energy going down, not giving in at all. Hustling. Oh, this one.
Challenging the safe call, first base.
I'll tell you this one could stand. I think it's a good challenge, but this one should stand. And it's interesting because I played with a left-handed pitcher named Chuck Finley. And Chuck Finley, as a lefty pitcher going down the line, he would actually catch the ball and swing that right hand so the glove actually touches the chest of the runner, just in case the runner does beat him out with the footwork. Summers did not do that, and I think he got beat.
Unless the spikes on his cleat hit the corner of the bag before Mangum. The other angle was the one that, this is the one, did the spikes get to the bag first before Mangum's heel, or Mangum's toe, should say?
It's going to come down to the pixelation.
I'll tell you this is a tough one to overturn, though. You got to zoom in. and you're hoping that New Balance made them a little extra longer.
If you're a Tigers fan, you're saying
you can't
it's
see
a
it from
spike
there,
on right there, but you can't definitively see it because Mangum's foot's in the way.
But look where he touches the bag, right in the front of the bag. Beautifully done by Mangum.
The call, the field is overturned. The runner is
Wow. He spiked him.
Wow. You have to be clear. It has to be concise. And look at Mangum just applauding, keeping his team going. There's always a roster spot for a guy like this that gives you quality at-bats and hustle. Plays elite defense. You make the call.
What a huge, huge first out that is. And Torkelson tested immediately after coming into the field, too. A season that has not been a great defensive year for him. He makes a good throw.
Side. And even if it wasn't overturned, it's a really good review by A.J. Hinch because it gave Drew Summers time to at least catch his breath and have composure back on that mound, even if he would have been safe.
1-2 for Yorkos, the biggest hit for Pittsburgh in the game, a 3-run double.
1-2.
Over 300 pitches in this game. 13 runs, 19 runners left on base. Summers is way wide.
2-2.
Remember, the Tigers with Baltimore's loss are just a half game back of the American League wild card number 3 spot. And there's a strikeout for Summers as they get one step closer. 8th strikeout for Detroit. Back to Kevin in the studio.
Catcher, Henry Davis.
Trip to Coors Field, maybe exactly what the Dodgers needed after that disappointing and really dispiriting weekend against the Brewers. Kev. Here's Henry Davis with 2 out in the 8th inning. Orioles now tied with the idle Rangers 61-64 for the 3rd wild card. Toronto is a half game back. The Blue Jays off today. They'll go to the Trop, play the Rays tomorrow. So the Tigers with a win can make this a 3-way tie for the number 3 wild card after tonight. This is all after they were swept over the weekend. If you're in the AL wild card race, stay in line. Well, polls are not going to close for a long time here, it appears. Twins are a game back. Guardians a game. Mariners only 2 back right now. And Summers just firing absolute heaters tonight. 5 up and 5 down, 3 strikeouts. A statement outing for Summers. Coming up after the game, Sports Center, Nicole Briscoe and Michael Eaves. The battle, the epic battle for the soul of the American League wildcard continues. Dodger Blues are trying to break out tonight in Colorado. What's going on in LA? What's going on in LA with the Lakers? Complications on the Lakers sale? Will Eduardo Perez be involved in the sale of the Los Angeles Lakers? We'll find that out after the game.
See if I have $12.5 billion somewhere in my back pocket.
I feel like you could make enough connections. Camilo Doval is into the game here in the 9th inning. It's 8-5 Detroit. Again, the Tigers with a win jump into a 3-way tie for the 3rd American League wild card spot. With the Orioles who lost tonight and the Rangers who are off, they'd be a half game ahead of Toronto. Cleveland a game back, Minnesota a game back, Seattle 2 back. Twins are playing tonight. They lead Atlanta 4-2 in the 6th, and Javi Baez finally is on base.
He gets hit, and FYI, this is potentially his last at-bat of the day, and he never saw anything but a slider or a curveball. Never saw a fastball. tell me there's a hidden secret right there. Do not throw him anything straight.
I don't know if I've ever seen that. 5 at-bats, not even a show-me fastball. That is following a scouting report to the ultimate end.
17 pitches.
Well, I guess if you're going to get hit by a pitch, make sure you don't get hit by a fastball. So now every Tiger starter has reached base. Baez aboard for Gleyber Torres, who led off the game with an 8-pitch walk. That set the tone. The Pittsburgh pitchers have thrown over 160 pitches tonight. Tigers have stranded multiple runners in 5 innings. They've left 12. It's 8-5. It could be a lot more than 8, but A.J. Hinch will take any total that gets him back to the hotel with a win. And the Pirates, meanwhile, are in bad shape here. The good news is they have Braxton Ashcraft tomorrow, who just threw an 85-pitch complete game. The bad news is Camilo Duvall's pitched back-to-back games. He's not going to be available likely tomorrow. Kirby Yates, not a lot of pitches, but back-to-back games. Gregory Soto, 3 out of 4. Matson threw 2 innings. Ramirez threw 44 pitches in 1 inning. And they will, you'd think, have to make some bullpen moves after the game.
Yeah, you're going to have some tough conversations with some guys. So the pitcher is challenging.
Oh, Camilo. No, that's why pitchers don't do this.
Now, there's a lot of organizations that do not allow pitchers to challenge. And this is why. 2.5 inches out of the zone.
I mean, you burn your final challenge for the 9th inning.
Yeah, that wasn't even close.
And you've got a challenge master behind the plate.
It's a great point. Davis 4 for 4.
3, please, 3.
Camilo Duvall's 2nd challenge of the year. He had won the first one. And that may be the last challenge of his life. I mean, that is so damaging to now go into the bottom of the 9th without a challenge in your back pocket, down at least 3.
I was in spring training
3-2
with one of the organizations, and I was in one of the meetings, and actually they told the pitchers you're not allowed to challenge. And the pitchers were like, what do you mean we're not allowed to challenge? This is why.
Yeah. Pitchers have been successful at a 38% rate across the majors this year.
Ball 4.
That's inside ball 4. Baez was running. Now he can walk. And again, to Buster's point, just let this guy challenge.
Yeah, and it's pitches, especially against guys that really do know the zone and get a reputation for. And he challenged not once, not twice, but 3 times in an at-bat. And then he was able to get Max Clark on another strike 3. 2 strikeouts backwards for that guy behind the plate who has had a wonderful night.
For a Pirates team that is the least successful challenging team in baseball in the field, 47% challenge win rate. They came in tonight with the 2nd fewest challenges won by their fielders. And Davis had a good night. He's been solid, but the challenge is lost by Valdez at the plate. Now Duvall on the mound.
And let's not forget also when they challenged the double play on the line drive, it was Davis that did it as well and actually ended up winning it. The only thing he cannot challenge is me with Korean barbecue. It's the one thing I do like.
You with Korean barbecue?
Hey, after the 6th inning, wow. I got hungry.
Yes. Hashtag Eduardo After Dark. Runners are off here. Ground ball right to second. It's a double play.
No way.
Just about the only place you can hit it.
Heck of a jump by both runners. Baez is looking back saying, wait a second, what just happened right there? Unbelievable.
I mean, if McGonigal doesn't swing, it's a double play. If he swings and Gonzalez isn't covering, it's probably a base hit up the middle. It just happened to be the one potential gnarly sequence And now another challenge. This one by Danger.
This is going to be 2.5 inches inside, too. I think Dylan's going to win this one. Oh, and he does it.
Oh, no.
There's a strike. Detroit has one remaining.
It's 2.5 eyelashes on the blade. You got to stop thinking about Korean barbecue right now.
Blame the sixth.
We plead the sixth tonight. Tigers do have one remaining. Dingler muscles one into shallow center. Camilo Duvall with a run-of-the-mill scoreless ninth. Top of the Pirates order coming up, down by 3.
I'll take some kimchi.
Exclusively on ESPN, the Little League Classic returns.
This is an event unlike any other on the sports calendar.
It gets better every year.
One day a year. Baseball's best. Meet the future of the game. And now, the MLB Little League Classic. Braves, Brewers, Sunday on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Going to be so much fun on Sunday night when the Braves and Brewers tee it up from Williamsport. A little bit down the road here in Pittsburgh. An 8-5 Tigers lead. Pirates had that big 6. Not much else offensively. And they'll bat against Kenley Jansen in search of career save number 492. And that quest will begin with a first pitch ground out against Jacob Gonzalez. Tiger bullpen tonight. 2 2/3, 1 hit, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, no runs. And there are the numbers for Jansen. The ageless wonder.
27% K rate for Jansen. The scouting report is simple, and Pittsburgh Pirates did not follow it. You have to be patient, especially left-handed hitters against them.
Follow the cutter. That's the scouting report. Young Esmeralyn Valdez 0 for 4 tonight. Valdez takes a little bit low. Remember, the Pirates have no challenges remaining. The Tigers still have 1. Jansen only 15 for 19 in saves this year, but hasn't blown a save since May 24th. So he's 8 for his last 8. And in his career against the Pirates, he is 20 of 21 in save opportunities. Last blown save against Pittsburgh came in June 2013. Kenley has pitched against the Pirates 29 times. His teams are 29-0 in those games. Here's his 1-2.
Inside.
And that may be strike 3.
Ball call's being challenged by the catcher.
Dylan Dingler missed one at the plate at the top of the 9th. And he got one at the bottom.
It is a strike. Detroit retains.
How about Esmeralyn trying to sell it, saying, no, that's not a strike. Yes, it is. He's got good action. You're used to seeing the cutter. Then all of a sudden, you get one that really just stays down low and does not cut as much.
These days, a shake of the head is overruled by a tap of the head. 2 down for Reynolds. Whacks one to right and foul. You can see on that scoreboard, Baltimore 6, Tampa Bay 7. Orioles 61-64. The idle Texas Rangers 61-64. The Detroit Tigers 60-64. With 38 games to go, including this one. Breaking ball strike at its 0-2. Those are the records of the teams tied for the 3rd wild card, plus the one that's a strike away. This is the AL these days. You lose 3 in a row, you get swept by your big division rival this year. All it takes is one more win, one more good game to get back on track. Jansen's 0-2. It's strike 3 called. No challenges left for Reynolds to try and overrule it. Jansen nails down the save, and the Tigers return to a tie for a postseason position with an 8-5 win in Pittsburgh. Kevin McGonigal's early 2-run home run made this 4-0. Was an 8-1 game in the 6th. Pirates had the tying run at the plate an inning later, but Finnegan, Summers, and Jansen of the Tigers bullpen bear down in a white knuckle affair in some of those later innings. They win 8-5, and they will wake up as part of a 3-way tie with Texas and Baltimore as the wild card turns. For Eduardo Perez, Buster Olney, our fabulous crew, I'm Kevin Brown. Let's send you to SportsCenter.